Check, check. All right, close enough, huh? All right. 9:33. Okay. This might explain things. I was raised without dogs. I was raised with cats. Combine that with life, early teenage years, marijuana abuse. Started when I was maybe 15. Combine on top of that mild traumatic brain injury from repetitive subconcussive impact and severe emotional trauma from divorce and custody battle. Might be why I was labeled schizophreniform, which apparently is when you show signs that, you're not schizophrenic, I think, but it's like if schizophrenia was a light bulb, schizophreniform might be like a fluttering, blinking light. I don't know. It's not quite schizophrenia, but I went back for a secondary opinion, and the second doctor said I had anxiety. I did grow up with cats though. And one more thing, when I was 19, I had 42 mice. Started with two mice. I got a male and a female on purpose, but I didn't realize that within a month or two, I'd actually have 42 mice in my uh, room and pooping and causing this toxicoplasmosis type of stuff, but not the feline version, the mouse version. So that caused severe depression for me. So I would say, in my experience, this is true. Animal owners higher risk of abnormal thinking. There you go. It's like when people say dogs are people too. My friend says dogs are people too. Heavy pot use. you linked to schizophrenia, particularly in young men. There you go. Cuddling with a cat. Hey, Rick. I was just saying how, not you, but the other Rick in the chat, Ricky D. He says, dogs are people too. But this is about cats. Cuddling with one might seem therapeutic, but a new study suggests that contact with them could have adverse mental effects down the road. I grew up with cats, so maybe that's why I'm like this. Oh. Oh man, I feel it all the way down my hip. Research published in Schizophrenia Bulletin found that people who are exposed to cats may have more than double. Wow. Study links cannabis use to schizophrenia in young men. All the studies focused on participants who owned cats. Oh, this is another thing. I'm not gonna do it tonight. I made a miscalculation. Oh, cool. I might have had to. Almost had to. Go help with new mats. Let's see. Will you be at the dojo tomorrow at 5? I could be. Hold on. That was in caps. Shit. I could be. Is Sheldon coming? Okay. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Let's think about this. I would say it had to be the chicken. Let's move on though. We're just gonna like try to have a flow. Shoot, computer froze for a second. Are we back? Okay. Chicken came first, Rick. Britney Spears, paramedics, and the police called to the hotel. She was in a huge fight. She was in a huge fight with her boyfriend, and the hotel guests feared a mental breakdown. Britney Spears in a huge fight with the boyfriend, and the guests fear a mental breakdown. So the paramedics and the police were called to the hotel. Aw, she's wearing her blanket, and she's got a pillow in front of her chest. Does she not have a top on? It looks like her belly's sticking out. Oh my gosh. Is she drinking? I'm just telling you from experience and from the research that I've been, studying from Dr. Jubb and colloidal biology. Volume's low? I don't think so. Rick, is my volume low? I'm turning it up. How about now? Are you sure the volume's not low on your phone? I'm only staying on for half an hour, guys, with the news. I just want to do something every night, even if it's just a little bit. When the stomach is distended this much, I would say it's not just food, but she has been on pills, right? Oh, I feel bad. You know, I do. You're audible on my end. Thank you, Rick. Lundos is one of those guys who has to call Geek Squad to learn how to use his email. Lundos. He's like, my phone's making a weird noise. Yes, Londos, that's called a text message. Anyway, I shouldn't pick it, Brittany. Why is I just start talking shit as soon as I see her? She's had the highs and she's had the lows. Huge fight with her boyfriend Wednesday night and ended up out of control, crying, possibly cut, and almost driven away in an ambulance. TMZ has learned. Um, Broken glass from drinking. See, that's why I gotta say drinking is because huge fight. What is there to be in a huge fight about? She ended up out of control, crying. That seems like alcohol, guys. I'm sorry. She got to the Chateau Marmont late Wednesday with boyfriend Paul Solis. This is her boyfriend? West Hollywood bungalows and suites. Oh, wow. Yo, that's in West Hollywood? What the freak? Yo. I feel like I've seen this before. Whoa. History of secrecy. What? The history of secrecy at Chateau Marmont. Look at that. That is a nice building. Got the balconies up here. Sean Levy literally wrote the book on the Chateau Marmont. The author checks in with Tablet to explain how the legendary hotel became a haven for celebrity mischief almost immediately after opening its doors. Ah. If you want to be seen, go to the Beverly Hills Hotel. If you don't want to be seen, go to Chateau Marmont. Oh, wow. Legendary Hollywood hotel perched on the edge of the Sunset Strip. Let's look at it on a map. You stayed there, Londos? Hmm. Oh, there's the strip, huh? This is the strip right here? Or is this the strip? Oh, this is the strip. Wow. Little Armenia. Which way is the strip? I bet you it's this way. The straight line. Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yeah, okay. So it's got to be this. Okay. Guitar Center. Chateau Marmont. Got a restaurant too, huh? Few places in the middle of movie land where celebrities could carry on like civilians without the press, their bosses, or their spouses finding out what they were up to. Okay. This is the boyfriend, huh? Paul Solis. Who is this guy? He's banging the legendary Britney Spears? He doesn't look like anything special. Maybe it's just because of what he's wearing. He looks like he's working or something. He looks like he's working at H at the mart, at the gas mart. Who dressed this guy? He's wearing navy blue shirt with blue jeans. Bro, just wear a jumpsuit. Get a navy blue jumpsuit if you want to be all blue. What is this? You don't wear a navy blue shirt with blue jeans, guys. Who dresses these people? He looks like he works at a car wash, or he met her at the car wash. Some sort of disturbance, and someone called police, claiming a woman matching Brittany's description was harassing and threatening hotel employees and guests. Oh. Officers showed up shortly after 10:30 p.m., but they saw no signs of trouble and left. Oh, so what is this? Oh, wait, there's more. We're told Brittany and Paul retreated to a hotel room around 11 p.m. where they continued partying and drinking. Oh, you see? There it is. What is partying, though? Is partying code word for loud music, or is it code word for coke? While they were in the room, they ended up getting to a huge altercation that we're told turned physical, according to sources. And Brittany may have hurt her leg. Oh my god. These people are wild. We're told Brittany was screaming and out of control in the hallway of her suite, and several guests thought she was having a mental breakdown, so paramedics were called. You see, alcohol is bad. While we're told the call to paramedics was for a possible injured person, sources at the hotel tell us they feared it was a breakdown. I mean, I wish we lived in a world where people didn't get hooked on drugs and alcohol. You could see and hear the debris on this side. Is like bumps in here. This is like what I got in the right side of the colon, small intestine and colon, mostly colon here. Um, Scars and um, the scarring of the intestinal tract and fungus, like a wart. You ever see how thick the wart is? It gets thick. It's like a thick tissue. It's not flexible. It's just kind of stiff, low circulation. Kind of see one right there. It's like a bump, a couple in there, I think. This is called face reading, guys. You're not gonna get this type of information from a doctor. It's not medical advice. Do you make this up? See, Lundos. Lundos is the type of guy who has to go to the doctor and get a diagnosis, and then he gets his prescription for drugs and surgery. Came to the wrong place, Lundos. There's no drugs and surgery here. Paramedics arrived. Red Owl can face read. Yeah. Yeah, you can face read anybody. Like, you have kidney issues under the eyes. Um, when you have bags under the eyes like this, like I have under eye problems, but it's not a bag. It's more like a dark circle. So it's different. You got to think of the kidneys as tissue. So what is it when they're like mine, kind of sunken and discolored and dark, gray and black? It's a severe demineralization. It's like a candle burning. The candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long, type of thing. Not that I'm saying that I'm burning bright. I'm just saying that I'm burning out. So look, when somebody looks tired, they are tired. But the kidneys are supposed to be the batteries, and when they're filled like this, puffy. It's water retention. So um, let's see. What could somebody be taking that's going to make them hold water? I'm going to say that's alcohol. Yeah, late nights drinking. Could be wrong. You got other things over here. This bottom left lip is the colon. It's thick. The tissue's scar tissue and debris pushing it out. It's like always filled up and stretched out. Um, yeah, you could read the scalp. You could. I don't know all the face reading. Like the cheeks being dehydrated here. I'm not exactly sure. Salt. Oh yeah. Yeah, it could also be cooked salt. That's a good one. Cooked salt. That's a lot of that's found in the flesh foods. The cooked salt of the flesh, and too much protein also bother messes with the kidneys. So that would make sense. Yeah, heavy meat diet. Anyway, let's see. Brittany. I think the reason why they put her in a conservatorship is because the song. What does the song say? The drugs don't work. They just make it worse. Right? I don't know how she got hooked. Could have been energy pills. Could have been vitamins. Could be anti-inflammatories. Because she dances a lot. She's overdoing it. She's not getting enough sleep. They're giving her caffeine. They're giving her Adderall to concentrate. They're giving her pain relievers, and she starts going crazy from whatever it is, the pressure, the parents, social situations. She probably started drinking at a certain age, you know, and now because nobody ever knew back then about the brain of the gut, and most people still don't, especially people that are mainstream. So, who's going to help Brittany get back her neurotransmitter production in her intestine? The only thing they know how to do you know, is just to give people drugs that have side effects. And alcohol is a drug, 100%, has a lot of side effects and contraindications. So she's mixing mental prescription drugs. What is it called? Psychoactive prescription drugs with alcohol. You're not gonna have a good time. But you don't need pills to have a bad time with alcohol. I've seen, and I know I'm not the only one, has seen people drink and change, like flip a switch, change personalities. It happens with a lot of food. Actually, it happens with sugar in kids. I saw it happen with my two sons. The first time they were ever given something that I didn't approve of. It was pizza at a birthday party. And I saw them change. Their 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 behavior changed immediately. You can't read his because he's had a tremendous amount of work done on his face. Which guy? The white guy? If he had a tremendous amount of work done on his face, he should get his money back. Man's looking like a old catcher's mitt. Not that I'm one to talk, but where's the work? He's got wrinkles in his forehead. He's got bags under his eyes. What did he have done? Which guy? This guy? The non-white guy? Who's had work done? Um, I don't want to get sidetracked, but Brittany had clearly been crying. She didn't get into the ambulance and ended up leaving with her security and without Paul. I think we've seen the last of Paul Ortiz Ruiz. What is his name? Solis. Paul Solis, ex-boyfriend. She left without him. He's donezo. Just my prediction. All right. Let's see here. Could try and some type of flow. Okay, now we got two drug stories. At least 25,000 people in the U.S. are starting weight loss drug Wegovy each week. Wow. Drug maker Novo Nordisk said it's been increasing supply of its sought-after weight loss drug Wegovy, with at least 25,000 people now starting to take the medicine each week in the United States. Holy. That's more than a capacity crowd at Madison Square Garden, which holds 19,500 people. It's about 5 times more than we're able to start the medicine each week in December, they said in an earnings call Thursday. There's a very, very significant demand, Novo Nordisk Chief Executive Officer Lars Fruergaard Jorgensen. Holy, that was a mouthful. There's a very, very significant demand, Novo Nordisk Chief Executive Officer Lars Fruergaard Jorgensen told CNN Thursday in an interview. Boom. So for the foreseeable future, we believe the demand will outgrow supply, but we're gradually releasing more and more doses to the market. The company, which also makes Ozempic for type 2 diabetes, has been limiting how much of the lowest doses of Wegovy is made available for the past year to avoid having too many patients start the medicines amid a shortage. The drugs are designed to be started at lower doses, then gradually increase over time in order to limit side effects like nausea. Wow. Isn't it interesting how you're supposed to start low and gradually increase? They don't say anything about getting off the drugs. There's a big conspiracy theory that drug companies and the medical industry as a whole profits from people being sick and addicted to drugs or hooked on drugs. I think this is quite evidential in this article, where they admit that the drug is designed to start low and gradually increase over time. And they say nothing about weaning off the drug. This is a lifelong drug use. Excuse me. Side effects of long-term Wegovy use. Okay. Abdominal pain. Severe abdominal pain. Nausea and vomiting. Constipation, abdominal pain. Diarrhea, headaches, constipation, stomach pain, weakness or tiredness, nausea and vomiting. Wow. I don't want any abdominal pain. That's not good at all. Gallbladder problems. Okay. Need for surgery. There you go. So take Wegovy. Expect to have your gallbladder removed. Kidney problems too. Wow. Kidney failure. Yeesh. You go on this stuff, you're gonna need dialysis. It's like you go into a store. You know what this is like? This is like you go into a store, they give you free bread. You go into a restaurant, you get free bread and olive oil, and you dip the bread in the olive oil. And then they expect you to buy an appetizer. Oh, okay. You're gonna move up. Let's see. What about pizza bread? How about a salad? Here you go. You can get a salad. You can get pizza bread. You can get chips and guac. Oh, that's good. Now you're ready for your entree. Oh, what's the entree? We're gonna have gallbladder removal. You get what I'm saying? You check into McDonald's medicine and don't expect to get anything healthy, is what I'm saying. Alright? Don't go to a taekwondo school expecting to learn boxing. And don't go into modern medicine and expect to get anything other than more symptoms and more drugs for those symptoms and apparently more surgery. Tachycardia is increased heart rate. Okay. Wow. Increased heart rate. That cannot feel good. Look how many side effects though. Oh my god. Hair loss. Oh my god. 3% of people getting hair loss. So what's 3 out of 100? 1 out of every 30. 1 out of every 30 people are going to go bald. Wow, that's great. Indigestion, holy. And thyroid cancer. Oh my god. Sign me up. Here you go. This is the one I want. Depression or suicidal thoughts. I don't have enough of this. I need it to be actually effective. I want to take Wegovy and let that be the end of me. Thank you. Wegovy and the end of me. Come on, man. Really? We got cancer, suicide, um, and baldness so far. Okay? Let's see here. Dizziness, man, that cannot be good. Imagine feeling like you just spun around 20 times and oh god. Oh, nausea. Oh my god. I can't. I could not. I mean, I guess people are so desperate for help. Serious low blood sugar. 6%. Wow, more people are getting low blood sugar than are going bald with this shit. Headache, terrible, diarrhea. Oh my god, you're coming everything's coming out of every end, every opening. Every orifice is flooded. Inflammation of the pancreas. What happens? Pancreatitis. Oh, this has got to be the last. Dang, look at that. Long flat gland behind the stomach. What is it? What does it feel like? Swelling, pain, and changes. What are the symptoms? Here we go. Pain in the upper belly, and it radiates to the back. Tenderness to the belly, fever, rapid pulse, upset stomach, vomiting, pain, worse after eating, weight loss, and oily, smelly stools. Okay. Next, um, I wanted to move from this one. Where is it? I guess this is gonna be the last story because yeah, this will be the last story. Ryan Garcia, positive for Ostarine. Boxer calls BS. Yeah, of course. He's still got a little bit of a. I mean, I'm not one to talk, but you could see the intestinal inflammation here under the neck. Yeah, and it's the angle. He's pulling his chin back. But, I'm not saying, oh, he's fat, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying him and everybody else has intestinal inflammation, and there's the evidence of it. So externally, you look, his body is, s- slender, muscular, and yeah, he still has inflammation, just like a supermodel who's skinny everywhere and it's just got a small little bump in her lower abdomen. You could see it, and nobody could get around it. You ever heard the saying, you can't outrun a bad diet? You can't not have intestinal inflammation. I mean, everybody's pretty much born with it, you know? Devin Haney addressed the reports of Ryan Garcia's test results, saying it's unfortunate Ryan cheated and disrespected both the fans and the sport of boxing by fighting dirty and breaking positive not once but twice. Haney, who said he is an advocate for clean fighting, added Garcia owes fans an apology, as his recent posts suggest he finds it all to be funny. We put our lives on the line to entertain people for a living, Haney said. You don't play boxing. Haney ended his statement by saying, despite the results and his alleged disadvantage, he gave it all that night. He gave it his all that night. People die in this sport. It's not a joking manner. That's facts. People do die. I saw Ryan Garcia's post. You want me to do predictions for UFC tomorrow? Okay. Ryan Garcia flunked the drug test a day before his upset win over Devin Haney, testing positive for a performance enhancing substance, but the boxer is calling BS. What's Ostarine do? Selective. Oh, it's SARMs. Yeah, yeah. Attaches to proteins and effectively tells muscles to grow. It's used to aid be more watched than UFC. Used to aid performance by helping athletes build muscle mass and endurance, and enhance their rate of fat loss, and also to increase stamina and recovery ability. While some athletes may seek Ostarine for its perceived benefits in muscle gain, physical performance enhancement, and bone mass preservation, the accompanying dangers cannot be understated. Oh, okay. Prolonged use may lead to suppression of natural testosterone production, posing significant long-term health hazards. Really? Hmm. Why do fighters use it? Stimulate muscle growth. He denied it. Yeah. 8 weeks of Ostarine does not significantly alter liver weight. Blunts the effects of endurance training on submaximal endurance. Wow. Is it a steroid? Anabolic SARM. Okay. If you try bulking the conventional way, it adds a bit of body fat to your build. Huh. Why is it banned in boxing? Stimulate muscle growth. Didn't what's his name? O'Malley pop for this? The United States eventually issued a 6-month suspension after testing positive for Ostarine. Okay. I just got so good it doesn't even matter. He says, when did he test positive? Out of competition urine samples. Oh man. When you're in a sport where your life is on the line, I could see how people would use, anything to get an edge. I never did. I don't condone it. All I'm saying is I could understand why somebody would, um, especially if, um, you're into the head contact and hurting people, stuff like that. Then it's not a moral issue. So it's not a moral issue for them, and um, if you are fighting to the death, why wouldn't you? I think he knows that he popped, and I watched this video, and it looks like he's lying. He's trying too hard. He's trying too hard um, you know, to deny it, and just the way that he's acting, I could tell that he's not being honest. And these two dummies in the background, come on. Do you think it was more prevalent in my days or the same? Uh, let's say probably same because by the time they're testing for something, there's something else out there. Like you got SARMs, but then there's something else. Peptides now. It's peptides. It's like 1 degree less than SARMs as far as I don't even think they test for it. I also think the UFC Performance Institute is where the the golden boys, the cash cows for the UFC, guys like Max Holloway, they are treated with uh, substances that would pop on a test, but because they're the golden child and the cash cow, and the UFC's banking on them to win for marketing, they are of a select group of fighters that it's a wink and a nod that they're not going to pop because the companies that test for UFC are private companies and the UFC pays them. And so there's communication, not that I have proof of, but this is my theory. There's communication between the UFC and the drug testing companies to make sure the tests go the way that the UFC wants. Otherwise, why would they pay them? What are you saying wow to, Rick? That I think Holloway's on juice? I think his head is growing from the growth hormone. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I think. I think Cowboy going on hormone replacement therapy. I think that's when I realized that he was juicing his whole career, and he also was one of the first guys who was treated at the at the Performance Enhancement Institute. That's what they should call it. UFC PEI. You're not surprised? Yeah, well, Connor broke the system. Connor broke the system by exposing how much of a promotional business it is. That's why Londos loves it, because he's a pro wrestling fan. He loves the promos, the building of the fight, and that's the business. That is the business. Ask any pro wrestling, pro wrestler or promoter. You got to put asses in the seats, and especially now that they got bought over by WME, every fighter has a number attached to their name, a number that indicates their marketability, their sellability. So when Max Holloway's on a pay-per-view card, there's a number next to him, and that's going to be their prediction on how the pay-per-view is going to sell, how many seats they're going to sell. Some guys have big numbers next to them. Obviously Connor, obviously John Jones, right? Guys who don't have big numbers, doesn't matter if they're winning, it has to do with other factors that make them more marketable, more sellable. And the UFC has a global team of scientists, mathematicians, and all different types of people studying this shit, and giving each fighter a rating, a marketability rating, a sellability rating. They know based on this formula how the pay-per-view is going to do if so and so is on the card. And that's why you see these cards build the way they are, and it's a business. Mark Coleman stories versus characters like Kobe Covington. Oh, really? I never see that one. Well, I'm gonna sign off, but let me pull that up. The science of a poll. Hmm. Let's see here. Mark Coleman, Kobe Covington story. Oh, you just made that up. Okay. Oh, the science of a poll. Huh. So yeah, I'll try to pop on tomorrow for the predictions. Okay, I'm gonna call it a night for now. Thanks for being here, Rick. Lundos. Don't ever let me see you around here again.